The reviewing officer will now address the parade.
Commandant OTA, distinguished guests, and proud parents of the passing out course, it gives me great pleasure to be here today to review the parade and address you all as we embark on a journey of valor, wisdom, and service of the nation. The parade I saw today stands out as a superlative demonstration of exquisite military bearing and drill. I see that the fine academy has forged you in fire and polished you like a diamond before you earn the honor of serving the army as young and accomplished officers. The absence of parents is, of course, a dampener. But within the constraints of COVID protocols, you have all adapted so very well to the challenges and put up an exemplary display of military skills. Today, you have completed a very important phase of your professional military education and are going to join the Indian Army. But the journey of learning and growing is a lifelong one. To quote General Patton, wars may be fought with weapons, but they are won by men. It is the spirit of men who follow and the courage of the man who leads that gains the victory. I have seen this happen in attacks on mountain tops during Operation Vijay in Kargil, where my battalion captured many daunting heights against all odds by sheer dint of courage and bravery shown by Captain Vikram Batra, Paramveer Chakra, and many more gallant junior leaders. You will lead the best soldiers, both in peace and war, and this responsibility will demand the last ounce of your energy and commitment. This profession of arms bestows upon you the onerous task of being the defenders of our country. You will be carrying the sacred trust that the nation reposes in you to defend the territorial integrity and unity of our country in peace and in war, even at the cost of your lives. From today, you become a part of the much coveted officer corps of the Army. When leading troops today, it may be good to remember that even though you lead the team, you are also one of the key players. Rules that are meant for the led also apply to the leader. After all, there is no better form of leadership than follow me. Leading by example would demand from you a very high and exacting sense of purpose and duty, a sincere dedication to your profession, implicit faith in your leaders, and unflinching loyalty to your men, to the army, and to the country. As officers, the defining character of your leadership would be to take timely decisions and execute them with missionary zeal. After all, a stitch in time saves 9. In future, the influx of information, opinions, and options would enhance exponentially, but it would take the leader who would synthesize all this information and take a decision. Leaders make decisions, and decisions make history. While the professional military education imparted to you here at the Officers Training Academy would ensure institutional education, but then intuitive decision-making would emerge from the concept of autodidactism. President Kalam had once said, "Excellence happens not by accident. It is a process. You have to work hard to achieve it." Victory in battle is not going to be as much about technology, courage, numbers, and superior doctrines, but about quality of leaders, and that too in a relative paradigm. The decision or judgment of the leader has to be better than that of the adversary. Let me emphasize the relationship between emerging technologies and soldiering. Lately, there have been sweeping technological advancements in the form of sophisticated weapon systems, electronic warfare devices, and force multipliers, which have changed the face of conflicts. It is therefore necessary for you to get to know these changes and reorient your mind to fall in line with the emerging trends. As we continue to deal with the COVID pandemic, we are also passing through a difficult phase when our nation is facing natural and man-made challenges threatening its development and integrity. As officers of the Indian Army, you will carry a very heavy responsibility towards your men and units in meeting these challenges. Armed forces, you must remember, are the symbol of national integration and an example to all. We have men from all states, castes, and religion. They eat, live, play, train, and fight together. You have to place your sacred duty to the nation above all other interests and fulfill your oath to uphold the Constitution and maintain the unity and integrity of the country. On the operational front, I must exhort the necessity of jointness in operations by the armed forces. You all must endeavor to think and plan for jointness with other services for conduct of military operations in the new paradigm of grey zone and hybrid conflict. This will propel you to further refine the much-needed integration amongst the armed forces of our nation. I am delighted to see officer cadets from Bhutan who have successfully completed the training. My congratulations to your government and countrymen on receiving such fine officers into the armed forces. I wish you good luck and great strength to always triumph over adversity. I extend my heartiest felicitations to the proud parents and guardians who have motivated the wards to join this noble profession and have witnessed the magnificent display put up this morning on a virtual link. Finally, I wish you Godspeed and good luck in all your endeavors and a very successful and enriching career in the Army. Thank you and Jai Hind.